it feel like days. Only been days, but it feel like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to our channel. I'm trying to start this video real quick in the car because I have a meeting at 8 o'clock and it is 7:57. So are we gonna make it? I guess we'll see. But today's a teacher work day. If you watched the last vlog, I mentioned that Thursday and Friday, the 9th and 10th, are teacher work days, and then we're off Monday for Columbus Day. So the kids have a nice 5-day weekend, fall break, and us teachers, we do have Monday off. So today's Thursday. This is our first teacher work day, and unfortunately, like I said, I have a meeting at 8 that is 2 hours, and then after that meeting I do have CPR training because I am a coach, so I have to be CPR certified. And then I think after that I'm free because I have so much work I need to do. I'm pulling up to work now. I'll just be right on time, but that's okay. And if I can bring my computer and try to get some stuff done while I'm there, then you best believe that's what I'm gonna do. I'm back in my room, guys. I did not film much because I had to rush to that meeting. It's now 10, I'm out of my meeting, and I do have a little bit of time to get some stuff done before my CPR training. My CPR training is at a school about 5 minutes away, so I'll leave here around 10:45-ish because the training is at 11, and it's not a school I've been inside, so I gotta walk around and find the room. And if you're like me, I don't like going to new places because I don't know where I'm going. So I'll probably leave with enough time to find where I'm going. And it should just be like a 20-minute training because it's just practicing chest compressions and just making sure you know what to do in case there is a coaching emergency. Track is not really a contact sport, obviously, so I don't anticipate something happening, but you just never know. But for now, I'm going to make a few copies because I think all the other subjects are in a meeting right now. So there's really no one using the copier, no one's around, it's very quiet. So I am going to make some copies, like I said, and then I am going to start finalizing my grades because they're due tomorrow at noon. But my goal today is to post the grades so that way tomorrow I can focus on planning and other tasks and not have to worry about my grade book. I got all my copies, and while I was on that side of the building, I did go into the lunchroom and bother Celeste's mom. She is the lunch manager, so she's the only one here today. I guess the lunch ladies have teacher work days off. So I just talked to her for a little bit, and then I got my copies. So next week, I'm not gonna lie, the text is pretty long and boring that they have to read. It is like 5 pages in the textbook, and I am gonna have them actually read it from the textbook. Otherwise, I would have to make a lot of copies. And if you watched the last vlog, I said I don't really use the textbooks, but obviously if a story is really long, then I'm not gonna print it out. So they're gonna be reading it in the textbook, and in order to make it a little more interesting, I am going to have them do a scavenger hunt like they did before for another story we read. So they are going to fill this out as they read. The story is called Women in Aviation, and it's exactly how it sounds. It's about women in flying planes. And this has like, I think 35 questions. So as they read, they will fill in the blank, answer the questions, and I can make it into like a scavenger hunt competition because otherwise, honestly, I just don't know how else they will get through it. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the most interesting. So that's what they're gonna do next week. And then they have a claim activity where it's gonna give them some claims, and then they have to come up with supporting details and come up with a quote that supports the claim. So it's not necessarily hard, but they are gonna have to hunt and find a quote. I was gonna do it electronically, but I'm kind of sick of AI and people cheating, so they're gonna do this by hand. And then I also have a race paper. So it's gonna give them a question, and they're gonna answer the question, cite evidence, all of that, and follow the race method for writing. I'll probably do this with them, honestly, kind of more as a warm-up because race is a little bit lower level because I feel like we want them to start getting away from race as they get older. So I'll probably just do this as a warm-up, but I think that's it for copies. I will at some point today or tomorrow put the textbooks back under the desks because that's what we're going to do Tuesday when we get back from this break. We're gonna read it, do the scavenger hunt, and then the rest of the week we'll do the other worksheets. I organized all my copies and I am headed to CPR training. As you can see, the sky looks a little bit scary and I'm definitely getting misted on. but hopefully it clears up because I definitely want to walk today after school. I feel like teacher work days, I work hard, but there's no students here, so it's not as draining. So I feel like when I get home, I should still have energy so I can take a walk. So hopefully the weather works with me, but I am going to head to the training, and then when I come back, it should still be only like 11:30 because the training is only from 11 to 11:20, and then I have the rest of the day until like 3:30 to get all my stuff done, and I plan on grinding, shutting my door, and locking in. I am back at my school, and CPR training went well. They just taught us how to do the chest compressions, and they just tried to walk us through a real situation. Now that I'm back at my school, I still have about 4 hours until the workday ends. I believe it ends around 3:30 and it's 11:30. So I'm gonna have lunch because they are serving us lunch, and then I am going to go in my room, get all my grades in because like I said, grades are due tomorrow, but I'm trying to get them done today. And I will put an announcement on my Google Classroom for the kids that actually check it on their break and let them know that I posted the grades. So that's gonna be my first priority, and then I do have a lot of other small tasks that I need to do as well. I ate lunch and we had a team meeting, and now I am with Preston. Say hi, Preston.
Hey.
He's hanging out with grandma because you know that Celeste mom works here, so we're just hanging out, but I am going to start grading in just a minute, I promise. I'm back in my room, but it was so good to see Preston. I did not expect for that to happen, but I am now going to grade what they did yesterday. I don't like to do hard things for the last grade of the quarter, so it was just an easy classwork. I'm gonna try to race through them and put all the grades in, and then I will pretty much be done with grades. And then we talked as a team during our team meeting, and we decided that we do need to make a list of those who made honor roll and those who made principal's honor roll, which I believe is 90 and above. And then there's also a superintendent honor roll, which is 96 and above. So we do have to make that list based on our homeroom. So I do need to do that once the grades are finalized. And then of course, on the flip side, we do also need to write down the names of anyone who failed 2 or more. So today is focus on grading. I probably won't get much planning done, but tomorrow is another teacher work day, so I'll be able to focus just on planning. All my grades are officially finalized for quarter 1, and I did put a message in my Google Classroom that says all grades are posted. I hope you enjoy your break. And now I'm trying to move on to do a couple quick things before I go home. My whole team already left. I guess we were able to leave already, but I just wanted to finish what I started. But after I finished grading, I went ahead to print out some grammar worksheets. I've mentioned that grammar is kind of a weak area. They've just demonstrated that they don't remember things like part of speech, run-ons, fragments. So we're having to kind of reteach those elementary skills. And I told them, even though you learned it in elementary school, it will still be on standardized testing because ELA builds on each other each year. So since we're incorporating grammar, we are going to have a grammar quiz next Friday. That's just grammar, no reading passages. So I went ahead and I printed literally 6 different worksheets, and I'm going to get them copied and stapled together tomorrow. And we're going to call this a grammar study guide, and they'll be able to work on it pretty much all week next week. And then the quiz will be Friday. So I did work on that. I still have to finish making the actual quiz, but I can work on that tomorrow. I am about to leave, but this to-do list is a mess because half of these things are crossed off and a lot of them are done, but I haven't crossed them off yet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make a new to-do list for tomorrow. We will have some time in the classroom tomorrow, but then we do have a meeting, of course, in the afternoon. But I will probably pick up this vlog tomorrow morning because I am ready to go. I am ready to relax. Good morning, guys. It is like 60 degrees and it feels pretty chilly outside. So I am in this Nike sweatshirt. It's like our normal contract time. It's like 7:40 right now, and the parking lot was empty. So I don't really know what time we're supposed to be here. Yesterday, I got here at 8 for my 8 o'clock meeting, and people looked at me crazy like I was late. So I assumed maybe we're supposed to come at a normal time, and no one's here. So I'm not sure. But I have work to do. I'm here. So I'm just going to do my work, and I'm sure people will come eventually. Yesterday, I did my main thing, which was grading and following that deadline. So today it's just a lot of little things. Now that I posted the grades, I do need to make that list of whoever's failing and the honor roll list, all of those things that I mentioned yesterday. I also need to make copies of that grammar packet I showed you. I need to finish making the actual grammar quiz, which is next Friday. So it technically doesn't have to be done today, but I'm just trying to help my future self out for next week. I also need to ask the librarian to renew their library books because they're technically due Monday, but we don't have school. Just a few random little things like that. And then we have a big meeting with the whole school from 12:30 to 2:30. And then I assume we can leave after that because it's Friday. So I'm gonna try to grind this morning and then the meeting will be at 12:30. I am going to make the failing list first because we are looking for people failing 2 or more classes. And then in terms of honor roll, we are rewarding them next week, so I definitely need to make that list of names today as well. We try to do some rewards at the end of each quarter for those who either didn't get in trouble or they got honor roll. So we're trying to get all the names now. And then when they come Tuesday after their long weekend, we are going to collect their behavior sheets. They have behavior sheets called trackers, and if they don't follow the rules, we write it on their sheet. We write the date, we write what they did, and we sign it as a teacher, and then their parents sign it, all of that. So they get a new one for quarter 2, and they have to turn in their quarter 1 tracker. And for those who did not get any tracker signatures, they will be able to get rewarded as well. So we definitely try to reward them. I need to make sure I put on my slide for Tuesday to turn in their trackers from quarter 1, and we need to make sure we make copies of the new trackers today while we're here all together, so we can pass those out on Tuesday. All the grades are officially checked, and I made my list for honor roll, which was 2 people. Guys, I honestly think that once we really get a hold on the behavior, which definitely is gonna happen in quarter 2, the grades should come up because the kids do not realize the more you play around, the lower your grade is going to be because you're not paying attention. In quarter 1, I feel like towards the end, like these past few weeks, it was just a lot of behaviors, and I know we all agreed for this next quarter, we're going to have to put our foot down. So I feel like that will help the grades for quarter 2, hopefully. I'm now going to put these textbooks under the desk because like I said yesterday, the story that we're reading in the textbook is pretty long. So instead of me printing it out and having it be like 5 pages, we are going to just read it from the textbook. And I'm still debating if I want them to read it in partners or read it on their own and then do a scavenger hunt, because like I said, behavior has been a struggle, and I kind of want to start quarter 2 on a calm note, on a serious note, but it's literally lots of pages. It's called Women in Aviation, like I showed you yesterday, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. Some of the pages do have pictures and stuff, so they aren't really long. Like this one just has some words up here, but that's gonna be kind of long and boring for them. But I feel like it will start the quarter on a calm note for them to do it on their own. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. But for now, I'm gonna put these textbooks back under the desks, and then we will move on to another task. All the desks have textbooks under them, and now I'm gonna go get copies of this grammar packet. However, we do have to be in sync here at my school, so I do need to talk to the other 7th grade ELA teachers, make sure they agree with this study guide because we are taking the same quiz. And then if they agree, then we can go ahead and make copies for all of our classes. And also one of the other ELA teachers is actually getting married this weekend, literally tomorrow. So I know that she'll have a sub because of her honeymoon, and this will be something easy for her kids to do next week. So I was trying to consider that as well. I'm gonna take a little break, get out the classroom, make these copies, and then we'll see what's next. So I got all those copies made, and now I need to actually finish the actual quiz because obviously the study guide is to lead up for the quiz. I have like 11 questions so far, but I'm trying to get to 20 because there's no reading passages. It's simply parts of speech, commas, stuff like that. Those are elementary skills. However, we've just noticed some issues in those areas and some struggle. And this is going to be evidence and data for us so we know how much grammar we should incorporate this year, because like I said, ELA does not go away. There still very well could be parts of speech and commas on 7th grade standardized testing, even though they learned it in elementary. So we're trying to do what we can so they can remember the old stuff because it is not going to go away. The quiz is complete, and I did try to vary the question types. So like for commas, I have a couple questions that are like, which sentence uses commas correctly, that are kind of just general questions. And then I have some that are like, identify where a comma is missing in the following sentence, and they have to put it where it goes. And then like for parts of speech, I have not only identify the adjective, but then I also have questions that are like, what does the adjective describe? Because we know that they describe things, so what is it describing? So I try to do a lot of different question types, so it's not just like find the adjective, find the comma. So it is commas, fragments, parts of speech, run-ons, and then just general punctuation. And then there's a few conjunction questions as well, because we learned correlative conjunctions separately back in August, so they should be fine. It is not hard. There's no passages. It's just a matter of if they pay attention throughout the year and also paid attention in elementary school. I'm at the point where I'm just doing a whole bunch of little things because all my big things are out the way. And if you remember, I told you that my ELA support class, they were teachers for the week, and they were given a topic and they had to make a PowerPoint as if they are teaching it to the class and a quiz. And next week they are going to present and they are going to judge each other. So I made this little rating sheet and I just printed 2 per sheet, front and back. So there's 4. I think we'll only get through 4 presentations per day because I think there's maybe 7 or 8 groups. They have to be rated on their clarity and organization of their PowerPoint, the knowledge of their topic, creativity, because most teachers at least try to be creative and colorful with their PowerPoint most of the time, and then quiz quality. I am going to try to print out the quiz for everyone so everyone is able to actually see the quiz, and I figured this will be a fun way to rate each other, and whoever does the best as a teacher will be able to get rewarded. I figured that's a good way for them to be engaged because sometimes when people are presenting, the other groups are rude and talking and playing, so this will make them have to focus on the presentation because I will make this like a participation grade. That class has 15 kids, so it took me 2 seconds to make copies, and now I'm gonna look on my to-do list and see what else to do because I still have a couple hours till that meeting at 12:30, so I'm really just chilling and getting stuff done. I am eating my lunch. It's like 12:15 and our meeting is in 15 minutes, and it is a whole school meeting from 12:30 until 2:30 on our Friday afternoon, but I do think we can leave after that. I am leaving in a really good spot because I'm literally all caught up. I was literally planning for the week after next because that's how caught up I am. And I also made the copies that I needed to for Q2 because like I said, they do get a new behavior sheet. So those students who did get in trouble a lot and got it documented, they are going to start back over with 0. But I do know for Q2, I know we're all going to be just more sticklers for behavior because they're used to 7th grade now. They know what to expect. So I feel like I'm going to be using these sheets a little bit more. I probably wrote less than 10, probably even like 5 this first quarter. And obviously the goal is not for them to be in trouble, but I do feel like I let some things slide. So I'm definitely going to use these sheets a little more and be more firm because behavior definitely started slipping at the end of the first quarter. So I got all those copies. I'm going to count those out for each teacher, and then we're going to go to the meeting, and then I can start my long weekend. It is 2:37, and we just got out of the long meeting, and we are officially able to start our 3-day weekend. My computer is in that classroom. I'm not even going to worry about work, and I am going to go home. I don't really have any plans this long weekend besides relaxing. I do know me and Celeste will film a life update one of these days, but besides that, I am just kicking my feet up because this week was real long. But hopefully you enjoyed hanging out and seeing what teachers really do on teacher work days. It is rare that we actually have a full teacher work day. There's always meetings, but luckily I was able to get all my stuff done in between the meetings. So I know 100% I am ready for next week. So I'm gonna end this video here. Make sure you like, share, comment, and definitely subscribe to our channel. Our next video will be the life update. So I cannot wait to see you then. Bye guys.